Hello, Book Leaguers. Welcome to Book League Storytime Adventures. I have a great new book. It's called Henry's Big Angry Feelings, written by Audrey Lane. This is from the Emotion in Motion series, and this gives children some practical strategies they can use when they're feeling angry. It's a wonderful book, and I know you'll enjoy it. So let's go. In the shade of a tree, on a bright summer's day, Henry and Ella decided to play. Their laughter was loud and their games great fun, right beneath that old tree, all shaded from sun. They were brother and sister, the greatest of friends, and together they loved fun games of pretend. But today was all different. Today was bizarre, because Ella was gifted a brand new toy car. A sleek, shiny red one that sped across the grass. It left all the others to dust in its tracks. He admired and watched on and silently yearned, wondering when it would ever come to his turn. He waited and waited, what seemed like forever, 'cause the last thing he wanted was to upset her.
Can I please play with the car?
Henry asked nicely. He remembered his manners, remembered precisely. Her grip round the car tightened just a bit.
Not now, Henry! Would you just quit?
His face went red. His body felt tingly. He felt so angry that he couldn't think clearly. Couldn't she see he'd been waiting forever? What happens now? Would she let him play never? He felt angry feelings. He clenched up his fists. He couldn't think straight. No way to resist. Just then, Robbie Rabbit was hopping on by when he noticed the scene and stopped to say hi. But he saw the clenched fist and Henry's red face and thought, my oh my, he's in an angry place. Robbie Rabbit spoke first.
Seems there's something I've missed. What's got your whiskers in such a great twist?
It all started when Ella wouldn't share with me. I'm so angry. I want to hit and yell and throw something. I'm really mad.
But if you start to yell or hit, you'd wake up tomorrow and live to regret it. You love your sister with all of your soul. So even when angry, you must keep control. That's the first step, to set boundaries. So you don't forget, you're not enemies. A boundary is a simple promise, that's it. Like, I promise to myself that I never will hit.
Robbie Rabbit was kind and made so much sense. Henry did love his sister in his defense. But he was still angry, so went stomping away down the path to the creek in the light of day. When he heard a loud ribbit and stopped in his tracks, he saw Freddy Frog just eating his snacks. Old Freddy Frog couldn't help but to notice Henry's red face and expression ferocious. "It seems like you're mad," he said with a croak. "Now, why don't you tell me? What's all the smoke?" Henry told his mad story, and Freddy Frog heard, while munching his flies, the kind he preferred. "When I get angry, I breathe deep and slow in my belly. It relaxes my body, relaxes like jelly. They're called belly breaths. They help me to ribbit. You go ahead and try. Now that's the spirit." Henry took a deep breath, pushing out with his belly, and felt some of his anger melt away like jelly. He felt a bit better, he had to admit, but he still felt some anger. That wasn't just it. He thanked Freddy Frog and walked off in his feels, still thinking about toy automobiles. Then from high in a tree, he heard a great hoot. It was Oscar the Owl, high up in view.
Dear son, what's the matter? He called out to the lad. You've no smile at all. Why, you look quite mad.
For the third time today, he decided to share, concluding his story.
It's just so unfair.
He decided not to hit. He'd even belly breathed, but down deep inside, his anger still seethed.
When anger ruffles my feathers, I count up to 10. It gives me a chance to start over again. Anger's like water boiling hot in a pot. When you count up to 10, you give it a spot. You take that old pot right off the heat. You stop water boiling over. Isn't that neat? Just like boiling water, we sometimes get mad. But counting gives us time to calm down, young lad. Go ahead, try, and count up to 10. I think you'll soon find that you'll try it again. Henry thought for a moment, then put to the test, counting up to 10 as he'd suggest.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
When he finished his count, he cracked a sly smile.
I guess you were right. Maybe by a mile.
He gave a big hoot of great satisfaction.
Anger doesn't define you, but what does? Your reaction.
He gave a big thanks and walked away grateful, because after all that, it felt much less painful. Henry felt much more calm and more in control. He'd learned some cool stuff and set a new goal. He'd set boundaries, breathed, and counted. But one thing remained that he hadn't accounted. He felt strange feelings that weren't angry or mad. He couldn't make sense of these feelings he had. He walked back to the house, feeling life was unfair, when he saw Grandpa Arthur rocking in his chair.
Grandpa,
He said,
I need some advice. See, I tried to calm down, but something's still not right. Ella and
I know, my young one. I saw the whole thing. It seemed like no fun.
I got angry inside.
little Henry went on.
But I learned some neat things to help me along. I learned that my boundaries can help prevent trouble, that I won't hit or shout. That only makes it double. I learned that breathing from my belly can help me calm down, and counting to 10 is helpful, I've found. But after that, I still feel quite strange. I feel deep inside that something has changed.
Grandpa looked with a smile and told him true.
When I feel angry inside, I try a little trick I do. I use a new word to describe how I feel, and often I find there's a nice big reveal. And what I thought was my feeling was not quite the right word. It's deeper and different than the one I had heard. So I'll say disappointed instead of I'm mad, or disrespected, frustrated, or even quite sad. Now you try, my boy. Give it a go. Think hard on your feelings and then let me know.
Henry thought for a moment, then came to himself.
I don't think I'm mad, Grandpa. I feel something else. I think I felt disappointment. I felt hurt and sad. When she didn't share with me, it made me feel bad.
Grandpa looked pleased and gave a big grin.
I'm so proud of you, lad, for looking within. Now go ask your sister if when she is through, you can play with the car and have a turn too. But no matter the answer, try your very best to not lose control. Put your tricks to the test.
He returned to Ella, nervous at first, hoping for good news, but expecting the worst.
Ella, when you're through, can I have a go? I really love toy cars, and I promise to go slow.
Ella thought for a moment, and Henry kept calm. Then she took the car and held out her arm. At last, it was his turn. He'd learned to control that emotion called anger, that beastie old troll. He at last felt so happy, he gave her a hug before zooming off with the car like a bumblebug. The end. Remember, next time you're angry, you can set up some boundaries. You can use belly breathing. You can count to 10. And you can redefine or use new words for the way you feel. Now, you don't need to use all of those every time. Sometimes just one will work, but other times you need all of them like Henry did. Take care, everyone. Hope you all are happy and healthy. See you soon.